All right, let it adjust. Let it adjust. Let it adjust. Let it adjust. We got my girl Bethesda. I think she kills it every time she steps into a debate. I know some people would totally disagree with me, like, cause y'all are Andrew's people, and that's cool. Like, you know, like, but I do think like I think she does a really good job in debates. I think she's very intelligent. I think if you listen closely to what she's saying, it makes a point. She makes good points. To me, she mopped the floor with Andrew. Every time I watch a clip, it sounds like she's mopping the floor with Andrew. And I try to go back and listen to it because I'm writing the comments. Y'all be like, oh, did she win? So I go back and I try to listen to it, and I'm like, it don't sound like he's winning the argument. Like, it sounds like he's just doing circular reasoning. That's what it sounds like it's consistently doing. The moment she makes a point, he goes away from the point and tries to make another point, and then tries to make another hypothetical, tries to make another hypothetical. I don't know why people don't stand there for like an hour with them and just have the same conversation. Like I think in one debate, she was like, men should do something, and he was like, what if they don't? And I would fire back, what if they do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, men should do this, and if men do it, it would be beneficial to everybody. And he's like, what if they don't? I think it was something like with like, men listening, because it was a conversation about force doctrine. But anyways, let's get into the conversation. I don't want to talk too much, y'all. Let's get into the let's get into what they're going to talk about. Let's get it. Let's go.
Because then the leader of that household, or the head of that household, has control over the right and the will of every single person in that household. You're fundamentally denying people free will. They're not allowed to. Yes, they are. Because if they're both
denying of free will, huh?
Because if they're both legislated by the same government, and one of them has no say in who is elected into that government, but still, because you're still impacted by law, but you're still impacted by laws.
So what? You're being impacted by laws when you're 17. They can't vote. You have a consistency issue.
Not to the same extent as an 18-year-old. Not the same extent.
They can have it to the same extent as an 18-year-old.
In very rare exceptions, but you're
fighting on... Yeah, but they can then.
So you're fighting on...
This is why I think he's circular reasoning, right? Okay, so a 17 and 18-year-old doesn't understand the laws the same way that somebody else would understand them when they're older, right? So when you're older, you read about the laws, you understand what... and I'm not saying everybody does this, but a good number of people who go out and vote understand. Like, the majority of people who go out and vote understand what they're voting for. They understand they want the Republicans to win, even if they don't understand the other side of the argument. They just understand what they're voting for. A 17 to 18-year-old doesn't have a clue what they're voting for most of the time. Could they learn it? Yes. But we're talking about adults. We're talking about adults that are able to vote. Like, like, this is the circular reasoning shit that he's doing. Because she can fire back at him and be like, okay, well, fuck it. Then they can vote. Why not? Since they have to worry about society, well, we can go as low as you want to until you can fucking go up to the till you get to baby status, and then you can like crawl your ass to the fucking voting booths. Like, is that how deep you want this conversation to go? We set a portion in society where these are adults. These are adults should be able to go vote. What the fuck is the problem with that?
But look at you. You're around the fringe. You're fighting on an exception. We're talking about the general population.
Even in the general population.
I'm not talking about murderers. Yeah. I'm not talking about
so let's start with this.
I'm not talking about school shootings.
I don't think it's generally speaking a good idea to let 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds to vote, to disenfranchise the votes of people who are politically informed, because they're being used as a leverage voting block for elitists. And that's what's actually happening. What's actually happening was what you just said. You know, NGOs and lobbyists are lobbying Congress to get various things passed, and what they do is they try to leverage the votes from a tribalist purview in order to get the things that they want, right? And 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds are highly impressionable, right? So we're 22, 23, 24, 25-year-olds highly impressionable. Mm-hmm. And one way that you can eliminate this idea that they could be gone after by the parasitic NGOs who run things is by simply limiting the ability to vote to people who have such a political interest that they actually do social service for up to 5 years, so that then we can trust them with the right to vote.
Okay.
Hold on, before she goes, it's interesting though, right? He's talking about NGOs and people like that intervene, right? All of you, I know most of the people that watch him are definitely Trump supporters. A lot of them are. I know they are. Or Republicans or conservatives. That's where he stands. He stands on a conservative premise, right? You know what's interesting about the last election? The majority of people that would, like, a good number, not a majority, but a good number of people that were able to vote from 18 to 21, a good number of people that were able to go out and actually vote, right? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Hold on, wait, give me a second. Let me do this right. Make sure this is correct. Okay. Make sure this is correct if I say it. Okay, so I'm right. Okay, so the number of 18, and I made sure I was correct, 18 and 21-year-olds, because Trump went on podcasts like Theo Von, Joe Rogan, people that that community are watching, right? He got more votes from them. So you want to disenfranchise them as a conservative when most of them went out and voted for the president that we have now. Because they were being informed when the president was going on those podcasts and talking directly to them on what was going on. We just need, I think disenfranchising people is stupid. You just need to find a way to communicate with that audience so the audience will vote for you. But I think when you're 18, you should be able, if you're able to smoke, you should be able to, like, if you're able to join the military, all kind of stuff like that, you should definitely be able to vote. And you could join the military at 18, you can vote at 18. You can't drink, that's the only thing yet, but that's pushed to 21. Who knows? That may fucking change depending on what happens. But 18-year-olds should definitely be able to vote. I don't know about 17-year-olds, though. Where the fuck that's coming from either one of them.
2 statements. Can you let me get through them?
Sure.
Okay. So here's number 1. I agree that lobbying generally is bad. I'm not here for NGOs. I don't think anyone really is. I mean, but the whole point of why we don't like them is because we want to be represented by our legislators fairly and accurately, and we don't want it to be in the control of a private interest group.
So lobbying's bad.
Yes, generally, I think that lobbyists and NGOs are not good. But what I don't understand is, if that's the issue, why not ban NGOs? Why not have a platform that's standing against NGOs and lobbyists? I think that'd be something great.
Yeah, so
if you did that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so this is a great question, but here's the problem, right?
Yeah.
This is the leverage of tribalism and why you can't really do that.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to let him go, and I'm going to let him go, but tribalism is such a stupid argument. You will have tribalism in any system that you create. Tribalism is a stupid argument. Like, it's a very, very stupid argument. You will have tribalism in any system that you create. It doesn't matter. Even if we limited the amount of voters, then people would rally around the people that they want and tribalize around the people that they want to vote the most. You can't eliminate tribalism if that's the conversation that we're trying to have. You just have to make your group big enough to get the vote bigger. But that still makes it free. And here's the thing. I don't like Trump. I don't like nothing about Trump. Is he my president? Yes. And do I respect it? Absolutely. And do I care that a bunch of people I feel like went out and voted against their own interests? 100% I think that. But they have the right to do that. I don't want to disenfranchise any of them from being able to do that. Why is the left saying that and the right not? The right trying to eliminate votes for certain people so that you wouldn't even have the ability to go out and vote for Trump if you wanted to. Don't understand it. Tribalism is a stupid response.
That. So on social issues, right? There are NGOs out there, for instance, who have a vested interest in abortions being legal, right? This goes out into the social ethos, and now we're battling over the social issue. We have become tribal, right? We've become tribal. Then you have NGOs who battle against it, let's say, this social issue. They also are making a ton of money off of the counter battle, let's say, also utilizing political tribalism. The whole idea here is divisive tribalism is what enables NGOs to begin with. They make a ton of money off of it, especially off of race hustling and DEI.
So then again, why not just...
So there, he said it. He doesn't like that black people... He doesn't like that black people are able to vote for what they want to vote for. And again, instead of eliminating black people's votes, why don't you just fucking go like, okay, look, like, why don't the Republicans do something to talk towards black people? Do something that aims at the black community to get their vote. Like, Democrats do things to aim at the black community to get their vote. Even they lie about it. They do things to get their vote. Why eliminate voters? That's stupid. Because if tribalism worked on the opposite side, you would never complain about it. Like, if it worked on the side of getting President Trump elected, you wouldn't complain about it. Straightforward. Why don't they do things for women? Because they have one audience that they appeal to, and it's people like Andrew. That's why, like, he just straight said it. He said they race hustle.
Ban NGOs and lobbyists.
Yeah, you can't
allow everyone to still have a vote in a representative.
I'm giving you the descriptor.
I think it's hilarious that you keep calling democracy tribalism.
It leads to tribalism, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
full democracy leads to tribalism.
So
There's no way around it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so does sports. Sure.
So should we ban sports?
No, why would you ban sports? That's a total non sequitur. It makes no sense.
Why would you ban a huge percentage of the population from voting?
Because I would want to avoid political tribalism so that elitists can't exploit low information voters, which they do right now, in order to enslave the planet.
So you're basically saying that people are too stupid to have the right to vote?
Yes.
That's dumb, dude.
Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, of course I think people are stupid.
Well, then what are you arguing with me about?
Because if I want a right to vote, then I should give them the right to vote.
Why? But listen, think about what you just said. Yeah, dude, I agree that people are too stupid to vote, but give them the right to vote anyway.
She agrees that people are stupid, not necessarily that they're too stupid to vote. They should still have the right to vote. They should still have the right to choose the government that they have to live under. 1,000%.
I think people are too stupid to vote.
Why? So they're too stupid to function, but they're smart enough. Oh, come on. You think that people who go and generally cast a ballot are high information voters, or they barely even know what the hell they're talking about?
I mean, do you have a statistic on how many of them are?
Yeah, you can do street polls. A lot of people have no idea what's even going on with the issues. A lot of people are just bused to poll booths. They get bribed to do it. This happens on both sides of the aisle. Like, how many times have you seen canvassing campaigns who go out there and they're canvassing, they knock on doors, that people don't even know what the hell they're talking about?
So what, you think we should do an IQ test for everyone to have the right to vote?
That's been suggested, right? But I have a better plan than an IQ test. I would not disenfranchise a person from being able to vote because they have like an average IQ.
Yeah.
What I would do is disenfranchise a person to vote if they were low information. One way I could find out if they were really politically motivated is if they sacrificed years of their lives to the state in order to get that right to vote.
So you want to punish people for being stupid?
No, I just don't want them to nullify well-informed votes from people who are smart and on the issues and understand the issues.
But taking away someone's vote would be punishing them in a sense.
It's not punishing them.
Yeah,
it's actually stopping them from punishing themselves and the rest of society because they're easily exploited by social elites.
That's fair. I mean, but why not then just target education? Like, why not then
We spend 5% of the entire GDP of the United States on education. It's the highest anywhere in the world. And we have some of the dumbest people on planet Earth. Our literacy rate is barely, you know what the literacy rate is.
Yeah, it's garbage.
It's trash. And we spend 5%, the biggest GDP on planet Earth, we spend 5% total of our GDP on education. And you think that education's going to solve the problem of the low information voter?
Well, the issue is that people are stupid. Help them be smarter.
Right.
There's a lot of that is a mixture of genes and environment and nourishment and all sorts of different things. It's like you can't, this whole progressive idea.
Environment and nourishment,
hang on.
why not attack
this
those
whole
things?
stupid progressive idea of like, you just can just educate people into whatever it is. It's like, no, you really can't. Like, there's a lot of people who are just going to be fucking janitors, okay?
Right, but like I get what he's saying, but like the reason why the school system is fucked up is because we're not educating anybody on anything. Like, we're not educating anybody on anything. Like, the school system is fucked up because there's not enough people to educate, not enough people that want to do it, and we're doing ancient times. Like, I think it was like the 1700s or something like that, 1600s is where we get our curriculum from for schooling. It's like, oh, dude, we're so far behind. Like, I remember in high school, like they had a class called home equity, right? And most people had to take home equity, but you had to learn how to just put stuff together. Like, do you know how many people were so dumb in that classroom? Didn't know how to do laundry, didn't know how to do like just basic little things. But it's funny because it's not their fault. The school system was set up to only make people work. That's it. It wasn't set up to make you knowledgeable. It was set up to only make you work. And I don't know if Andrew wants more intelligent people, because if more, what seems to happen is when people become more educated, they vote more on the left. So if you wanted a population of people that were like willing to were willing to become more educated, there would be a lot less conservatives. There'd be a lot more people realizing we need change in a lot of areas. So you might want to be careful what you wish for on education. Like, one thing's first. But anyway, let's go.
There's a lot of okay. There's a lot of people who are just gonna be fucking janitors and who are just gonna be fucking toilet bowl cleaners and who are just gonna be fucking bartenders and are really not meant to build fucking rocket ships. Okay.
I know, but they're still subject to laws. That they
I know, but
say. And it's frustrating, but it's just a fact. If I want free will and they want, and you want free will, and we deserve the right to vote, then they do.
No, you're not eliminating free will by this.
You are.
You're protecting the rest of society from low information voters destroying their lives.
Yeah,
do you
but
really think? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If you were to, yeah, but you're not really doing that.
I have a question. Like, I wonder what he would think about this, and I'm gonna end it right here. I'm gonna end it right here with this question, right? I wonder what Andrew would think of this, and I might come back into the rest of it later, but it's like 14 minutes long, so I just want to go ahead and move on to the next one. But like, I wonder what Andrew would think about how educated did he think most of the people that went out and voted for Trump were. I'm just curious. Like, how educated did he think most of those people really were? And if you thought all those people were stupid, maybe he does. I don't know. But like, I don't want to know what you guys think. Do you think he thinks most of the people that went out and voted for Trump are educated? I know he thinks people who voted for Biden were stupid, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm out, y'all. Peace.